We made it without being spoiled. God help me if somebody claps at the end of this movie, I swear to God. Hey there, Internet Best Buds, welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm Ray, and today we're going to be looking at Avengers Endgame. Pretty just down this episode, because this past weekend was pretty rough, mentally, for pop culture. But anyway, this is Avengers Endgame, and it is the, 22nd, 23rd film in the MCU, and closes out the initial story arc that we've been building to since basically Iron Man. But while I have you here at the beginning of the video, definitely go down and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the videos that I do put out. And the question in this video is, do you guys want a spoiler review? I'm not going to spoil anything in this one, so don't worry about that. But, I don't know, I see a lot of people post spoiler talks, and I'm just not sure if I want to do that. But if you guys want it, I'll do it, so just let me know down here. After the events of Infinity War, with half the universe gone, the Avengers must come together to track down Thanos and undo his terrible snap. So, I do feel like this movie is really hard to talk about thoroughly without spoiling anything, but luckily everything we've seen pretty much from the trailers happens basically in the first third of the film, which is great. Also, I love how now that the movie's crossed over $1 billion in its first weekend, Marvel has completely foregone the whole don't spoil anything by spoiling a lot of stuff in promotional material. So all the returning cast is great, and there are actually a lot of characters that you never expect to have seen again in the MCU. However, I do want to talk about two characters. We got Hawkeye, who was finally given some justice. Jeremy Renner was great in the movie, and I loved Hawkeye in here. But even more than Hawkeye, I want to talk about Captain Marvel, who in her own movie wasn't really that big of a fan of, but in here, she is fantastic, and she is used perfectly. I thought they did an incredible job bringing back some lines and some moments from previous films in a really impactful way. There's even moments from the comics I never thought we'd see in an MCU film. The fan service in this movie is off the charts, and they actually do a good job of surprising the audience at some points. The action in this movie is incredible, puts the airport scene to shame. Not that it's a bad fight, but this just blows it out of the water. And the whole last hour just felt like a big battle. It was awesome to watch. So there's a lot of jokes in the movie, which is par for the course for the MCU, and a lot of it hits really well. But in classic MCU fashion, I felt that some of the jokes came at the expense of some really emotional moments. People were bawling during this movie, Amanda included, and I can understand that. And it is a very emotional movie, and it's really weird that a scene where characters are discussing cheeseburgers is what got me to tear up. I don't know why. I don't even really like cheeseburgers. So just like with the rest of the MCU, there's a lot of inconsistencies and conveniences that they throw in there to kind of write themselves out of a corner they wrote themselves into. And if you really pick at the movie, there's a lot of flaws that you can find. There are some confusing elements and some things that really just don't make sense. But it doesn't really hinder the movie at all. These are all things that we've had in the MCU before and we kind of overlook. And it doesn't detract from the movie at all. It's still an absolute blast. I love this movie. In the end, you are able to look past those flaws and appreciate this movie for the cinematic achievement that it actually is. There are some issues, and this may not be a perfect movie, but this is probably the best way they could have ended this decade-plus franchise in such a satisfying way. Avengers Endgame gets a 9 out of 10. So yeah, I feel like that covers everything that I could cover without spoiling the movie, and you 100% need to see this in a movie theater on a big screen. And judging by how much money it's making, and how many showings there are at every theater, at pretty much every time, I think you'll have plenty of time to go out and see this one. I mean, heck, I've already seen it twice. I kind of wanted to wait to do the review till after I saw it a second time. I might be going to see it a third time. I don't know, we'll see where the week takes me. But anyway, that's my review for Avengers Endgame. I love this movie. It is so good, despite some issues I have with it, which maybe I'll get into in another video. As always, thanks for watching the video. It means a great deal to continue to watch the content that I do put out. Definitely go down and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the videos I do put out. Give the video a like, share with a movie-loving friend, and let me know if you want a spoilers video or if you just want the video where I talk about my biggest issues. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but that's probably what I'm going to do next. You know, after a video that explains why I didn't do this video sooner. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. See ya!